All righty, here we go. Got a consultation with Tamika. How you pronounce your last name?
C.
C. Tamika C. For the members portal, accessing the back office area, doing certain techniques and strategies in order to get carriers, send the information to carriers, reach out to carriers, and I also believe communicating with brokers too. You want to know about the whole the workflow.
Yes.
Okay. So once you log in, I'll go ahead and start that process as well. So you've already got your company set up.
Yes.
Okay, LLC, EIN, things like that. You got your paperwork in order as far as our templates, changing them to your.
Okay. I did all of that.
Okay. Now you're working on strategies and getting carriers.
Correct.
And then once you get a carrier, then you gotta check out their profile, see where they want to go, how much they want, how much weight they want to carry, things like that. Being able to dispatch them to different areas of the country where it's a high influx of inbound and outbound freight.
Yes.
Okay. You mentioned earlier that you already went to the as part of the method of getting the carriers. One of the methods is cold calling. You mentioned that you went to the register or the registry of the FMCSA website, which is the safer website, the company snapshot, going back to the register area to look for those individuals who have applied for an operating authority, okay, to potentially reach out to and call. The next one you mentioned was potentially starting an email campaign,
right?
Where you would call or email, put the information in the email campaign, okay. Like Constant Contact or MailChimp, right? So one of the ways to look for emails through load boards, I'll go to the module 2, load boards. Trucking Planet is a load board that provides email with the carriers. Like when you do a search for specific types of carriers, whether they're drive-ins, whether they're flatbeds, whether they're reefers, it'll give you information about them, how many trucks they have, what their phone number is, and then what their email is. So you can grab the email and put that in a like an email campaign software like Constant Contact or MailChimp. Have you heard of those?
I have not.
Okay. Let's see here. We're going to log into Trucking Planet. Okay, so when we first log into Trucking Planet, we go to carriers, and the three types of carriers or equipment types, the three equipment types of the carriers that we focus on, the drive-in, flatbeds, and reefers, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so drive-in carriers, truckload, flatbed, step deck, truckload carriers, or refrigerated truckload carriers. But let's just choose drive-in. So now in here, you don't see any data. You just see like an online form. But if you notice right here where it says to view current listings of the drive-in truckload carriers, click here. This is a hyperlink where it says click here in blue. You click there, and now you get an influx of carriers, 603 of them. Wow. The first 200 of which is on the first page, and then it's across 4 pages.
Okay.
But the point of coming here is to show you that company name, MCDOT, units, number of tractors or trucks they have, the contact person, their phone number, and there you have the email. Now, I don't believe Trucking Planet has a way to extract or export emails out of their software into a third-party software like Constant Contact or MailChimp. So you may have to manually, which is kind of not a good thing, but at least you have a method, have to manually put those emails into the third-party software, which is, if we go back here, getting carriers. Methods of getting carriers, and I should just hit the button up at the top to show you methods of getting carriers, right? It'll scroll down for us, right? So we got cold calls, we got truck stops, we got word of mouth text scripts. So text campaigns where you can text their phone numbers. So with Trucking Planet, you can basically go back and forth, cross-reference it. So you can go to Trucking Planet and put the phone numbers into a texting campaign, which is like one's called Text Magic, one's called Text Line. You can, if you click these are images that they'll go to the actual page. They're hyperlinks. You can read about it, maybe get a subscription to it. If you decide to use the Text Line or Text Magic, the same thing. Click it, it goes to that particular software. The same thing holds true with the email campaigns, number 5. We have email scripts and we have text scripts too. We're going to enhance those or update them, but they are there for your use. Okay. MailChimp and Constant Contact. MailChimp is more of the MailChimp is more of the non-commercial one. Constant Contact is more of a corporate one. Okay. So, all right. So MailChimp is an email campaign where you import emails into it, create one script, and it sends it out to multiple emails, right? So, and that's one. And then the other obviously is Constant Contact, which is another. Deliver stunning emails and a whole lot more. You can sign up for free with that one. No risk, no credit card required. Attract new customers and boost sales with our complete, easy-to-use digital marketing suite. So you have email marketing, text marketing, social media marketing, and marketing automation, which you probably can automate all 3. So that would probably be a better one to look at and consider. So that's another method that you can do with the emails.
That's right.
To put them into a email software, text software, automate the process all the way. Let's say, for example, now you do get a carrier. And well, you get a carrier from that method. Let's say either texting, emailing, cold calling, visiting the truck stop, whichever method that you use. And you have to have that conversation, because the purpose of these products is to generate leads. Okay. And so people can come to that shows interest to come to contact you and say, hey, I got an email or I got a text from you saying that you are a dispatcher. I've been looking for one. And then now you start that conversation and you offer them, you tell them what your services are to continue that conversation to see if they are interested in your services, right? And they say that they are. Then you say, okay, well, I need to send you my information, the dispatcher packet, right? Which contains 3 documents. What 3 documents are in the dispatcher packet?
The agreement, the authority, and
the dispatcher agreement,
the power of attorney,
and
the profile.
Carrier profile. Very good, because you need to know what your carrier wants. Where they want to go, how much weight they're willing to haul, or the maximum up to, cents per mile, when they want to be out, what areas of the country they don't want to go to, things of that nature. They're giving you specific requirements, for you to find them freight according to those requirements. Okay. Send that to the carriers. The carriers fill those out. In addition to filling out the limited power of attorney, they want to have that notarized, because that's the official document that the carrier is giving you, the dispatcher, authorization to represent them when you are signing on their behalf legally, right? So they send that back. And then in addition to sending all of those documents back in the dispatcher packet, they need to send you copies of their credentials, correct? Mm-hmm. So what are those?
The insurance, the
certificate of insurance,
W-9,
and then the main one that says that they operate.
Oh, Authority.
Their authority, right? Their authority. So their operating authority would show that they are a carrier authorized to transport freight according to the FMCSA. The certificate of insurance saying that they have insurance to cover what they have the authority to transport.
Right.
And then their W-9 saying that they are a legitimate company with an EIN attached to their business, right? And if they have a factoring company, there is a fourth piece of document. It's just a credit application that they send to the broker or whichever broker that you're going to be onboarding them with, so that you can do a credit check on them in order for the factoring company to issue a notice of assignment, so that all invoices payable to your carrier by the broker now are going to be payable to the factoring company, because now your carrier is a client of that factoring company. So that's what that process is as well. So now you do all that, and this is just the workflow. So once you get those documents back, the next thing you do now is take that profile sheet, right, and go to the load boards to look for freight for your carrier. And you go on whichever load, you go on our load boards that we offer as a part of your enrollment, or you may have your own load board. Okay. And then you go and search for loads that closely meets their requirements. When you find one, you contact them to see if they agree that they want to take the load, because they could be under something right now, or they can be empty. Okay. And then you contact them. If they agree to the load, they say, hey, I want it for this rate. Then you go back and do your numbers. You put your percentage. Do you do a percentage, or do you do a flat rate for your?
I'm gonna do a flat rate.
Flat rate.
I'm sorry, a percentage of.
So
So
each
right. So I'm gonna say like 7%.
7%. So whatever that is, then whatever. Let's say you found a load that was grossing $3,000. So 7% of $3,000 is $210, right? So when you call the broker, the number you need to have in your mind is going to include your 210 plus their 3,000. So what's that? 3,210. So you say like 3,300, 3,250, whatever, a little bit higher, because you want to be so the number that includes your percentage plus what the gross amount of that load was posted for, that's called a threshold, and you don't want to be below that, right? Because you want to negotiate with the broker in the sense where it includes your percentage, because you're not taking money from the carrier side, you're doing it from the broker side. Now, there will be cases where brokers are going to be firm on their rates, okay? And they're not going to wiggle, they're not going to negotiate. So in those cases, it's best to let the carrier know to see if they want to continue in this process of getting that load. And if they do, then you let them know, like, okay, well, I couldn't negotiate my percentage on the broker side. I'm going to have to take it from the gross amount of what the load was posted for.
Okay, so like if they're saying that it's 1,200, then I would add like my 7% to that to try to get that first to see if
that is correct.
Okay.
So 1,200 and 1,200 at 7%, that's $84.
Okay.
Right. You would add $84 to 1,200, so 1,284. So you might call the broker and say we can do it for 1,300, 1,350. Right. Something more than that. Right.
Okay.
And the broker says it was posted for 1,200. We can do it for 1,350. So you get your $84, they get their 1,200, and the change, the difference, that goes to the carrier. Well, I always advise the dispatchers, whatever's left over goes to the carrier, because that just shows that you're dealing honestly with them.
Okay. Understood. Okay. That's all right.
All right. So now the broker says, okay, what's your MC number? When the broker asks a dispatcher whether they know it's a dispatcher or not, because they're assuming they're talking to a carrier or a representative of the carrier.
Right.
So when they ask for the MC number, they are asking for the MC number of the carrier that you're dispatching for.
Right.
So and because dispatchers dispatchers do not have MC numbers. They don't have they don't have what's called an operating authority. So you give them the number of your carrier. right? So what happens when the brokers, I'm a broker, you gave me the number of your carrier, ABC Trucker, I look in my system to see that they are not an approved carrier for my brokerage. What is that conversation going to be like? I'm going to come back as a broker and say, hey, your carrier is not in our system as an approved carrier, but if you guys want this load, we can get you set up with our brokerage.
Right.
Right. So they're going to send you the paperwork to get started with that process. That's called a broker carrier agreement.
Okay.
That's the first step in that process of getting a carrier approved for any specific brokerage. They're either going to send it to you as a PDF attachment in an email, or they're going to send it to you as a link to an online portal, an online onboarding platform. Assure, Assist, My Carrier Packets, or RMIS. Those are examples of the online onboarding softwares that's out here that brokers are using. The most popular of which is called RMIS, Registered Monitoring Insurance Service. So they'll send you the link to that. If they send it to you in a link onboarding form, you'll enter the MC or DOT of your carrier. And to that, it'll populate the data because they're pulling that data from FMCSA. So it automatically populates, and then you just fill in the blanks. So that's about a 5-minute process. If they send it to you as a PDF attached to an email, that's about a 20 to 25 minute process. And then in both cases, you're going to either upload or attach to an email your carrier's copies of their MC Authority, W-9, certificate of insurance, and credit app. That's why you, as a dispatcher, when you initially got set up with the carrier, you got those copies up front, so you will always have them. Okay. It just makes your dispatching a little bit more efficient. Okay. So, any questions so far?
No.
Okay. Sure.
And I do have one question. For like is there an easy like to put some way to put this in so it'll be digital for the carriers to fill out like what I send them? Like it
you can set your processes up digitally through like e-signature, some type of e-signature software. Examples of e-signature softwares are like Adobe Reader, DocuSign, PDF Filler, Doc Hub. These popular online onboarding systems where you talk instead of emailing them a copy of your packet, you send them a link to your created online onboarding system between you, the dispatcher, and the carrier. You want to streamline your process. I understand what you're asking. You want to make it more effective, right?
Right.
So you want to use some type of so look into e-signature software, like
e-signature. Okay.
Yeah, e-signature software. Example of that is e-signature is just electronic signature, where you make it capable. I'm sure you've gone online to different companies and you've signed things online at this point, and you hit submit, and they send you a copy of the completed.
Right.
Like if you've ever purchased a house, the mortgage lender send you an online document when you sign it and send it back to them, and you get a copy of that too on your email. Right. That's an example of e-signature software. They may have used PDF Filler, they may have used DocuSign, most popularly probably DocuSign, where they used. But yeah, you can do that for your dispatching company. Set up e-signature capabilities where you create. So the documents that are important would be now the only one that I probably say you probably don't want to put it in the e-signature is your notice of assignment. I mean, not notice of assignment, your limited power of attorney, because they got to get that notarized.
Oh, okay.
But the dispatcher agreement, you can create DocuSign, and the carrier profile, you can DocuSign. And then the other one, the limited power, you probably can do limited power of attorney, but you would have to have it. You can get things notarized digitally now.
Online.
Yeah. You can do online notary too. They can fill out a certain part, and when it's time to notarize it, you can probably have them send that to a digital notary, and they can do it as well. So, so it's streamlined. So you're streamlining all your processes so it makes your dispatching a little bit more effective and efficient.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and that's pretty much it. And then once you get that carry, now you got to start finding them loads on the load boards according to their profile.
There.
Where they're located, where they currently are, where they want to find out, where do they want to start finding a load out of, and then where do they want to run to, and what good areas to send them into and out of.
Okay.
You know, as a dispatcher, keeping them running. And then starting good relationships with your carriers, starting good relationships with your brokers, and then merge the two together so that they can so that you can keep them running efficiently.
And I do have one other question, because I have talked to some that are doing some truckers that are, and they're asking, like, some are saying, like, how do I figure out, like, once I get started and get into a good, like, finding dedicated lanes?
So you find one of the main ways to get dedicated freight is moving consistent freight for a specific broker. So if you got one broker that your carrier is moving consistent freight with, over time, that broker is going to come to you or the carrier and ask, hey, you guys been delivering on time. You've been picking up on time, delivering on time, no damaged freight at delivery at the receiver, no claims filed against your insurance or anything like that. I have this lane that's getting ready to open up, this dedicated lane. Will you be interested in that? And then of course you like, yeah. So yeah, it comes with consistency and dedication.
Okay.
Dedication. So the dedicated lanes. It's not normal that it just falls in a carrier's lap.
Okay, so it's not where you. Okay, so I was thinking
you have to build that trust with the broker, because the broker is just not going to give a dedicated lane to a carrier. They just onboarded, and they know nothing about. They don't know how many years driving experience they have. They don't know, because they haven't had a first experience with them in delivering of one of their loads, one of their shipments. So they don't know the behavior of the carrier. So why would they take a risk of giving them a dedicated lane from one of their customers, their shippers, by doing that? They can mess their relationship up with their shipper.
Right.
So, yep.
Okay. All right. That does it.
Okay. And then you just rinse and repeat, right? Once you learn the mechanics and the technical aspects of dispatching, as far as finding the freight for your carriers, and if you keep them running in consistent areas, then why not just find them a reload, or what's called a backhaul, back to that first broker, that main broker, unless that broker has a reload coming out of where they delivered. If you got the same broker that you picked up a load from the shipper and delivered to the receiver, and the broker can get you a load out of that receiver location or somewhere near it back to the main shipper that they got the original load from, then why not keep that consistently running back and forth? That way you don't have to chase freight. You already got a broker that's giving you loads.
And what's that called? Reload and backload? Yeah,
a reload is just basically reload and backhaul. It's pretty much the same thing. So when your carrier delivers to a receiver, and they have to find a load somewhere else, either back to somewhere near where they picked that first load up from the shipper, or all points anywhere else, that's either called a reload. It's a backhaul if they're going back to the location of where they picked the first load up or somewhere near there. It's a reload if they're coming out of that receiver location going anywhere else, Okay. So, yeah. So when you're talking to brokers, you pretty much will ask them that too. You want to ask all the right questions when you're talking to bro. Hey, we booked this load, but do you have anything coming out of there? Do you have any loads coming out of there going back that way or anywhere else? We just got our carrier just onboarded with you, so we don't have to go through that process. You guys have good rates, so we would like to establish this relationship a little bit more long term. If you got a need for loads coming out of where we're coming out of, and as well as going back or anywhere else, keep us in mind, right? Those are the type of conversations. Or how often do you guys run this lane? A lane is picking up in one location, going to another location. That's a lane. From a pickup city to a delivery city. That's one lane. LANE, lane. Okay. So they'll say, yeah, we run this lane, or we haul this shipment twice a week or daily. We got a 24-hour shipper, so we ship out every day. We got to move 40 loads a month, so we got to ship loads out daily. So you just happen to get one of these lanes, one of these loads. So what do you got going back? We have some empty pallets coming back to this shipping facility. So if you want to take this shipment down to that receiver and then take some empty pallets back, we can go back and forth. These are the conversations that, you might have with the broker. You asking those types of questions. So, all right.
Yeah, this helped me out a lot. This did.
Yeah. So how you coming along? You're still working on the process of getting a carrier, right?
Yes.
Are you focusing on the 3 major equipment types?
Yes.
Okay. Which are? 53-foot dry van.
Dry van.
53-foot reefers or refrigerated trailers. And then 48 or 53-foot flatbeds. Those are the major ones because they're out here on the roads the most. You can find them on the load boards the easiest, and they pay the better rates. Now the rates right now all across the boards are kind of down, right? That's why carriers are complaining about it, because the rates are down. The market is down right now, but the holiday season's coming back around, and products are going to be needed to be delivered to those stores so consumers can purchase the products. So the rates are going to start to drive themselves up.
Okay.
That's just the way of the economy. That's just how it works. It's unfortunate, but we're in a time where we're at a point where we're coming out of the low rates, getting into the seasonal type of stuff, because it's Thanksgiving, Christmas season, end of the year type of thing. So that's what we're transitioning to. So, but once we get into that, we'll be into that till about, I don't know, probably spring, early summer. Because you're going to have the holidays, you're going to have the new year, you're going to have tax time, you're going to have all those things all the way up to the spring, summer, and then it'll start to slow down just a little bit again. So it's a cycle. Once you figure that out as a dispatcher, then you'll be able to plan accordingly to how you route your carriers and where you send them and things like that. But you have to get the basics down first, right?
And you said the busiest season is normally?
It's normally the holidays from right now, close to the holidays, Thanksgiving through Christmas, New Year's. And then around for specific equipment types and specific commodities, specific types of shipments, right? Types of goods, like produce and things like that. That's like from March to like around October. And that's like from southern Florida, all the way up the East Coast to up as far as Boston, Massachusetts. That's around March to all the way up through October. They call that following the produce, the concept of following the produce, because it's seasonal. It's moving in that direction. So you can make money like that with a reefer.
Right.
And then the general freight, the dry vans and the flatbeds, those around now, the holiday seasons through March, maybe early summer. For certain areas of the country, certain zones, zones contain certain states like the Midwest zone, the Southeast zone, and the Southwest zone. An example of a state in the Southwest zone is Texas. Okay. Southeast is like states like Virginia, North South Carolina, Georgia, Florida. And then the Midwest zone, obviously, Ohio, Michigan, all those states in the Midwest. So if you focus on those zones, which are the main 3 zones, there are 5 zones, but those are the main. You got the Northeast zone and then the far west zone, like California and stuff, and then the Northeast, New York and all that stuff. But you're dealing with tolls and hills. So you want to keep your carriers on, if you can, on flat land so they can save on fuel costs, because the more a weighted truck has to do upgrades and downgrades, the more fuel you have to burn, and have to, they're dealing with their brakes and all these other things, and the potential for tire wearing out and all these other things. But the more they're on flat land, your maintenance costs can kind of level themselves out, because they're not straining and stressing the vehicle, the truck.
And what was the 3 major zones you said?
The Midwest zone is number 1, which contains states like Ohio, Michigan, Kentucky, Illinois, Wisconsin, those Midwestern states, right? Number 1. Number 2 is the Southeast zone, contains states like North and South Carolina, Virginia, Georgia, Florida, those states like that, in the Southeast region of the country. And then the 3rd zone is Texas, like Arkansas. Southwest zone. I'm sorry. It's called the Southwest zone, number 3. Texas is the largest state in the Southwest zone. You got Oklahoma, Arkansas, things of that nature. New Mexico. So, right? Hopefully this helped you.
It did. Thank you. I definitely needed that, and I had actually looked at that and actually looked over like the script part of the text, and so I'm glad I was able to go over you were able to go over and show me that part.
Okay. Yeah, you can see the zones in our resources in the like if you go like the DAT trend lines, you'll see zones in the tools and resources. You go to the trend lines, or you can look at the map. You know, the map of the United States. But trend lines is a good resource to show the zones.
Oh, okay.
Trend lines is an analytical tool. I'm not sure if you are in the tools and resources a lot, but you can see that trend lines.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Okay.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you can review the rate analytics and all types of things, custom analytics, authorities. So that's trend lines.
Okay.
All right. All right, so I gotta double check my trend lines just to make sure it's there, but we got it here, trend lines. And you can view the different analytics here. Van demand capacity, van rates. So look at the van rates, and it'll show you right here.
Okay. Okay.
And it is so the average cents per mile as of I think it showed it of October, I believe, the end of October. So the van rates right here is hovering around $3 or $2.92 to about $3. Or the spot. So we got two different types of rates. You got spot market rates and you got contract rates. Contract rates coming from direct shippers. So if you're a trucking company getting loads directly from the customer and not getting them through brokers, those are contracted rates. Okay. So those are as of October, the end of October, it was $3.10. If your carrier was getting it directly from a shipper, but if you're working with a carrier who's getting it from a load board for dry van, the rates through October were $2.42 spot market rate. Back in November of last year, it was $2.92, but then it started to go up and go down. So this tells you how the season fluctuates for the spot market. It tells you how the season fluctuates for the contracts as well. And that's the van. You can go back up and do it for drive. You can go do it for flatbed and reefers as well. Flatbeds and reefer rates. So you go to reefer rates, it'll switch over to reefer. It'll give you the cents per mile for the zones. Remember the Midwest zone, Northeast, Southeast, Southwest, and West. Those are the 5 zones. Okay. And then you look at the chart, contract and spot market. We've mainly focused on spot market, which is in this example, the brighter of the two. So the spot market rates for a reefer started back in last November, $3.44 a mile. Then it went up. Then it started going down and going down and going down. Right now, as of October this year, the spot market rates for a reefer averaged, and these are averages, $2.80 a mile. Okay. That's how you read the chart. And you can go and look at the analytics. So these are analytics you can look at to kind of base. So when you're talking to carriers and they give you their cents per mile on the profile, or they tell you in a conversation over the phone, you can compare that to the analytics that DAT is giving and say, okay, your numbers are kind of a little unrealistic according to what the market is dictating for this.
Right.
So then you'll be able to say, hey, do I want to deal with this carrier who's giving me unrealistic numbers to begin with? Because he's going to always want, more out of the, and then this is flatbeds. So as of November last year, they were 304, and then you just go through the year all the way up to late October this year for a flatbed, 287.
Right. Okay.
And that's average per mile. Okay. So when you're looking at something like this chart, you're looking at the contract. You're looking at the spot market rates, because those are the rates that are on the load boards. Spot market rates that are posted on load boards are coming from when trucking companies reject those rates from the shippers or the brokers. The shippers, they go to the spot market. These contracts are the ones from the shippers for a trucking company. They're giving well above the rate. So But as new dispatchers, you will have to gradually work your way towards getting contract rates with shippers over time as your carrier, as your carrier and that broker's relationship build, or as your carrier's authority ages, then they can leverage that and the fact that they may have assets, they may have more than one truck and trailer. They can go to shippers and say, "Hey, we have 10 trucks. Can we work together? We don't, do you work directly with customers, or do you work directly with trucking companies?" That's what the trucking company or your carrier will ask the shipper. And the shipper say yes or no. Yeah, we only deal with brokers, or yes, we deal with brokers and or trucking companies. Depends on which one offers us the best deal. So, all right. We got a little off topic, but I just wanted to show you that.
I don't know that. All this is good information. Okay.
All right. We went a little past our time, but that's okay.
Okay. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. What is this one here? Trucking directory. Okay, this is this trucking companies. So what state are you from?
Georgia.
You can look for trucking companies in a trucking directory with a list of trucking companies, a list of US DOT trucking companies, truckdriver.com. So you can go here, you can go to Georgia, click that, and it gives you trucking companies that are in the state of Georgia. And so this is 1 to 29 of 29 in alphabetical order. So you can go through that, and then you can click one. So you're like Atlanta?
Southern Georgia. So I'm close, actually, like an hour from Tallahassee, Florida.
Okay.
So that, I guess, yeah, Atlanta would be.
Okay, so you can look at trucking companies here. You can go through it alphabetically.
Okay.
And then once you select one, it'll give you information about them. 4840 Solutions LLC, their information, their phone number, their DOT number, their safety rating as satisfactory as since 2010, which is pretty good. Cargo types, they do general freight and others, which is pallets. Fleet, so this is a large trucking company. They have a fleet of 201 to 300 power units. So they've done over 15 million miles. They're MCS 150.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Because they have so many trucks or units, right? Total trucks, total driver, 254 trucks, 252 drivers. This is a large trucking company.
Right.
So starting off, I doubt if you want to look at that one, but you get the idea, right? You can find one that has, so this one they have 7 to 8 power units. So this is a small trucking company. They have 8 trucks, 4 drivers. So you consider looking at that. They're safety rated, but this is a red flag. They have an unrated safety rating. So that's either unknown or they just didn't report it, which is I'm surprised because truckdriver.com usually don't put a trucking company's information up here if they don't have a safety rating because they want to be as transparent as possible. So, but what you can do, you can simply take their DOT and just kind of cross-reference it to Safer and go from there. So,
okay,
like right here, you go, you just click that link and it takes you straight to Safer, and then you can look at their SMS results, their safety measurement system, and get some information there, and to kind of figure out where they are, right?
Okay.
So, all right. Hopefully that was helpful.
It was. Thank you so much.
Okay. Anything else?
No, sir.
All right. I will end this and wish you a fun farewell. Hopefully you'll find a carrier. I mean, are you cold calling? Are you just thinking of different strategies, right?
Yes. And I actually I'm just really getting ready to start my cold calling, but I have done a few cold calls, but this week I'm strategizing on getting that getting the calling, the texting, and the email done.
Okay. All right. Well, good luck to you. Keep it up. Keep it up. Just you put everything together, everything will go smoothly.
Okay. Thank you so much.
All right. Have a good one.
You too.
Bye. All right, guys. This is Charles with the Exodus Logistics Learning Center. Dispatcher 101 training for beginners. Just had a consultation with Miss Seay, Miss Tamika Seay, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, concerning, of course, one of the main roadblocks, I guess, if you will, obstacles, challenges is getting carriers, right? Different methods. And then, but she also was talking about her processes, you know, as far as the paperwork, what to do next, things like that, what to send out, what to receive, and where to go from there. So we kind of covered that. You can go back and rewind the video. I'm going to put this on YouTube. And finding loads for the carriers, the types of carriers. So her main challenge was getting the carriers. Once you get the carriers, and then how to find the loads, how to keep the carriers running consistently, and also we were saying that, you know, the market is kind of down a little bit as far as the numbers across the board. We're coming around the corner into a seasonal transition, so that will be something that we can go into detail about and discuss. But at any rate, we discussed the workflow for her, right? And this can apply to anyone, everyone. You know, your main workflow after you get your business set up, after you get your documents in place, your dispatcher packet, send that out to the carriers, either in PDF format attached to an email, or in you can set up if you have the budget for your company just starting out. Most people may not. You can do an e-signature where you streamline your processes and you send out e-signature like DocuSign, PDF Filler, PDF Escape, Adobe Reader, whatever you're using as an e-signature software. Send out links to the carrier so they can click it and fill it out quickly, hit send, and upload it back to your email as a completed document, just like the same way the brokers do when they do onboarding. They do an onboarding through email, the e-signature process through RMIS, Assure Assist, My Carrier Packet. You know, they do the same thing. So why not you as well as dispatching companies? Once that happens, you start to understand now the regions of the countries that you want to keep your carriers running in. You want to understand the rates. You know, what are the good rates, the average rates per mile for specific equipment types, those things. You put in everything together. You want to understand spot market rates versus contract rates. You understand zones. You want to understand equipment types. These are the things you want to understand. So we kind of went over that a little bit with Tamika, and she's still moving along in that process. And then also today is November 1st, 2022. It is approximately 3:45 p.m., 3:47 exactly p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the East Coast in Virginia. Today is the start of our 50% off discount promo code half off for the single member and the 2-for-1 dispatcher training ongoing, as well as the single member and 2-for-1 freight broker training ongoing. We're going to take our payment plan down. And so from now, November 1st to the rest of the year, December 31st, we're having 50% off. 2-for-1 single member ongoing dispatcher, single member, and 2-for-1 freight broker ongoing training as well. So you come in at half the cost. What better way to take advantage and invest in yourself at half the cost? Even cheaper, right? So because of next year, our prices are going to go up a little bit next year. So this year, though, when you enroll, you still enroll, even though it's half off, you still enroll. That covers the first 30 days, whether it's dispatcher or freight broker. You enroll for that, and you get access to, as far as the dispatcher side, you get the email and password set up so you can access our portal, right? Our members portal, which is right here on the screen, right? You get access to all this information, 4 self-paced modules, right? And the live Zoom trainings every second and fourth week of each month for the dispatcher. 3 times in those weeks, you access that through the Zoom page here, the Zoom training schedule. Whenever you want to know where the access to the trainings are, you refer to under Dispatcher 101, which is outside of the portal. You go to the Zoom page to get the schedule. right? Go to the Zoom calendar, which is right here. We're in November. Our next live Zoom training for dispatchers will be Sunday the 6th at 11 a.m. So the trainings are the same. The days and times are the same. The frequency is every second and fourth week of each month. And the second and fourth weeks of each month for the remainder of this year is indicated in red. The dates are circled in red. Okay, so you guys will know, right? Sundays, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right? Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Saturdays at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time, right? And the meeting ID and passcode are always the same under every one, join now, things of that nature, right? So that's included in ongoing training for the first 30 days. And you get everything else here: forms and documents, tools and resources, training videos, library. Every Zoom training we have is recorded, okay? And it's stored for our members only in our training videos library. I get a lot of calls about this, or get a lot of questions and phone calls about this, and they're grouped in months. So if you hit a specific month, right? We hit October, right? Last month, right? Today is the first. It'll anchor down to that, and you can go back to the top to go back up. We're trying to make this user friendly. So for each month, you read from left to right the most recent video of that month, the date of that month, the most recent date, and the title of it. You click it, it'll go into the video, and then all the other videos. And then if you go to the far right, you'll see a white arrow where you can click, and it'll scroll back up. Once you click that once, then a left arrow produces, so you can go back to the most recent one of that. And this is recent date and year, because we got videos for each month under that month for Dispatcher 101 training videos for 2022, 2021, and I believe as well as 2020. So, right, we go all the way through. Okay. Just making sure we're in 2021. And this is just in the month of October 2021. Right, December 6th. So now we're going back. Okay. And then right, December, and then we got December 20, I'm sorry, not December, but October 25th of 2020. So we've gone back 2 to 3 years now, 2022, 2021, and 2022 of live Zoom trainings in the month of October. And the same thing holds true for all the other months. So if you go back to the top, and if you want to catch any video in any month of any year under Dispatcher 101 that we had, go there, right? You click the month that you want it in, right? Go back. In addition to that, and this is all in the portal for those who are ongoing members, you get all of this for the first 30 days from your initial enrollment date, right? Whether you came in at half off or at full price, however you enroll, that enrollment date, from that date, 30 days out, you're going to get an email and password, or the opportunity to set that up and get approved to have access to this members portal. And then 30 days from that, if you want to continue and keep access to the self-paced modules and everything that's in here, right, including the how-to series, right? And these are how-to videos in here that we developed. You can look at these. You click these are hyperlinks, okay? And it shows you in video format of different topics specifically, right? How to specifically do your dispatch agreement, carrier profile, limited power of attorney specifically, how to specifically navigate the SAFER website, DAT trend lines, National Truck and Trailer Service, just a few resources here, right? How to specifically look at the FMCSA register, specifically look at trucking planners for different trucks, finding carriers, DAT directory, 123 load board search directory feature, right? And then module 2, and so on and so forth, right? So if you want to maintain and keep that after your 30 days of initial enrollment, there is a $29.99 this year if you enroll this year, because remember, like I said earlier, our price points are going to change, right, in 2023. So, and I think 2023 will be the last price point that we have. We probably want to stay consistent at that price point in perpetuity, right? But who knows? But right now, that's what it is, okay? So if you want to maintain that, there is and it says it on the purchase page. The moment you click the purchase page, guess what happens? Boom, I'm sharing my screen. A disclaimer pops up so that you have to read and put your name, first and last name, email, and phone number in there and read this information saying that I read it of everything I just explained to you what's included. Okay. So right here, note, your initial enrollment payment includes into this program gets you access for the first 30 days to members portal, live Zoom trainings, load board, self-paced modules, private Facebook group, right? That's what it gets you for the first 30 days. If you wish to continue having access after your first 30 days from your initial enrollment date, there is a $29.99 monthly subscription to maintain access. Maintaining access for $29.99 a month does not just include having access to load boards. Let me make that clear, because people say, well, I don't want to no longer use the load boards. Please cancel my subscription. Okay, if we do that, not only will we cancel your subscription to the load board, but that $29.99 is also canceling your access to the back office, to the members portal. So are you sure you want to do that? Right? That's the thing. And we say that in here as well. Right? No obligation, cancel anytime by phone, text, or email. It says here, note, if you decide to continue wanting access for the first 30 days, but you missed 2 consecutive monthly payments, then we will have to remove you. 2 consecutive monthly payments is pretty much saying you are ignoring the fact that you were obligated to pay those. If you decided to continue, you're ignoring the fact that you were obligated to pay those monthly subscriptions to maintain access, or for whatever reason. Now we know things happen, so if you contact us and we have a conversation, then we will be on the same page, right? So we get it, we understand, life happens, I get it, okay? And then Dispatcher 101 includes and explains everything that's included, right? Back office, email and password setup, members portal orientation, back office business information only, 4 self-paced modules, everything, you can read that there. This disclaimer pops up the moment you hit the purchase page. And then after that, it goes away and it takes you to the purchase page, which now we have here 50% off on the single member Dispatcher 101, promo code half off, and 50% off on the 2-for-1 dispatcher side, promo code half off. And the same thing on the broker side. It'll say 50% off on the single member and the 2-for-1. This is going away. The 605 monthly payments, it's going away. We've had, it just wasn't as successful as I anticipated. We'll just keep it at that, okay? And so, yeah, and here again is the course disclaimer. If we put that in, the same thing pops up again. So please read the course information below and then put your basic information in this form to acknowledge that you have read all the course information. That's why the disclaimer pops up. And then go back to Dispatcher 101, and then it goes away, right? And it says it again here. Everything is right in a person's face to see it. So that the reason why I'm saying it like this is because there won't be an excuse, right? People have said, I didn't know that after 30 days of, I had to pay a monthly subscriptions. Well, it's literally right on the purchase page, like right here and in the disclaimer. And I'm saying it on this video. And I have said it on several videos in the past. I just want to make sure that is clear, right? So if you want to participate in that ongoing training process after 30 days of your initial enrollment, then you let us know and we would start invoicing you manually. And also, by the way, too, we do not take credit card information, right, over the phone or anything like that. We automatically send invoices and you pay the invoices either through PayPal or debit or credit card. We do not handle anyone's personal credit card numbers, anything like that, checking number, checking account information, nothing like that, because that's something we give you the ability to do it yourself, right? That way there's a lot of, we avoid a lot of headaches that way, So, well, you took my payment information. I need to, that never, in the 3 years we've been doing these trainings online, we've never taken credit card information. We send the invoices and you have the option, if you have a PayPal account, to pay it with PayPal. If you don't, you have the option to pay it with a credit or debit card, right? And we have a Stripe account to verify that, showing when it was paid, where it was paid from, the IP address and everything like that. So we have a back-end sourcing tool that shows and can pinpoint what happened. What happened, when it happened, and why it happened. So, okay. So it's just good business. Okay. So, but at any rate, next year, our price point 2023 is going to go up. Take advantage of the half off for the next 2 months. getting in half off because next year you'll be grandfathered in this year, right? Next year it's going to go up to, and I have it here in front of me, the Dispatcher 101 in 2023. So right now, this year, when you enroll, you get access for 30 days before you have to pay a monthly subscription, right? So next year, 2023, the dispatcher price point is going to be $5.99. I hit a single member. And the 2-for-1 will probably be either the same, $7.99 or something different, but this will be $5.99, but it will not give you access for 30 days. It'll give you access with that email and password set up to the portal for 90 days, right? 90 days, 3 months, not just one. So we tripled the access for an extra $100, right? Which is a deal. And then after 90 days, if you feel you need to continue and you want to maintain access to everything you're getting, because we're constantly changing things. We're updating stuff in the back office. Right now, I'm updating my ebooks and more current information. So everything is evolving to keep you abreast of what's going on currently in the industry, transportation. I would not be a good instructor if I did not do that. I would not be, if I continue to give you outdated information, it's going to make you an outdated dispatcher, right? So if you want to continue access in 2023 after 90 days now, and we track each person's enrollment date, then it will be a $34.99 monthly subscription as opposed to $29.99, an extra $5 per month. Okay, so it's affordable, right? A cup of coffee costs more, right? And this is something that's going to give you the potential to earn income if you apply what we show you and put it into application, right? And then on the freight broker side, it's the different price point as well. It's going up from $7.99 to $8.49, and it's going to be a $24.99 monthly subscription after 90 days also. And I'll come out with videos gradually from now until the end of the year, before the new year, and also saying those who are in it now, everyone who is enrolled in the program is grandfathered in to their current price point, their current monthly subscriptions. You will not be affected whatsoever by any of the changes in 2023. It is only those who enroll from January 1st on in 2023 that will be affected by the price points and the terms of 2023. Okay, so you're not affected whatsoever. But I'm just making the announcement, telling people, letting those know who have not joined what's coming. But if I were you, I would take advantage of the half off special. My goal was to start in November 1st through December 31st, and getting anywhere between another 500 to 1,000 individuals across either dispatcher and freight broker to enroll and sign up before the new year, because you're coming in at half the cost, half of the current cost, not half of the new cost, half of the current cost, which is currently low, the lowest out here, and then half of that, right? Come on, right? For an opportunity to get all of this content, right? Bunch of content, and it's constantly being updated and changed. And I am available, right? Email, cell phone, if you call, I will pick up. If I don't, I will text you and say I can't talk, text, and then I will get back with you once I get off, because I'm on the phone with someone else, because if I'm always answering my phone is buzzing, I got it on silent. I get missed calls and texts right now. So while I'm doing this recording. So I'm constantly trying my best to add value to what you guys are interested in, which is transportation, dispatching, freight brokering, and coming soon, trucking, and through Exodus University, intermodal, right? Warehousing, distribution, just different ways to get involved. Because even though the market is down, the numbers are down on the trucking side, there are so many other spaces, government contracts, DBEs, MBEs, ways to bid on government contracts. There's so many different ways to come into the industry and to provide value and to source the value and then offer it out to others. So, and that's what my goal is as an instructor to do in this industry. This industry is a great industry to be in. You just have to find your way and then be able to dedicate yourself to that way that you decided to find yourself in, in order to generate income and generational wealth for you and your family. I know most of us are sick and tired of the plantation, what we call the 9 to 5, being told when to get up, when to come to work, have to deal with traffic, all the other nonsense, the different personalities at your employer. It's just crazy, right? So at some point, you want to get to a point where you are controlling your own destiny. And that is done through entrepreneurship, right? Being your own boss. My job as an instructor is to set that up in this industry, transportation, set that up from a very basic process, beginner's process, right? Step by step by step, forming your business, getting your documents together as far as the dispatching side. And then on the broker side, it's the same thing. Okay. So I didn't mean to ramble on about this, but it had to be mentioned, right? I had to get it out a little bit, even whether it's in this video or not that I did the consultation for Tamika. But hopefully you guys will find value in this information. And I'll create other videos specifically for what we're doing, the changes and the November 1st through December 31st half off sale. Okay. So thanks, guys. I'm gonna stop my share, and I will have this on YouTube momentarily. Today is Tuesday, November 1st. Half off starts today on the broker. 50% off sale starts today, now through December 31st. 2 months in order to join the training program at half the price, half the current price. So what you would do is you would still go in there and click the purchase. It's going to show the regular price, but you just enter the promo code and then hit apply, and it calculates 50% off. And then you go ahead and complete the process, add the cart, check out, whatever, right? And then go from there. Okay. Enjoy the rest of your week.